F1 League. This is round 12 at Belgium. We're just starting to load into qualifying 1. Let's see how these drivers can do. So, we have been racing for a while now, and personally, I am one of the drivers. I am Sunderland 1879. I am not racing today because of the fact that I have a race ban. So I obviously have a lot of information on the drivers as of right now. So I am going to possibly make a prediction later on, as obviously I don't want to make it right now, but personally I will make a prediction later on. We shall watch the rest of this qualifying 1 and see what happens. So just loading into qualifying 1 now. We should possibly see everyone going straight from the pits onto the racetrack, hopefully, as we don't really want to be sitting around waiting for people. So what I'm going to do is I'll turn on the telemetry, the lap data and the details. So let us see who is coming out right now. That is either Roscoe, yes, that is Roscoe, the leader and the creator of the CRH League, going out on his first lap of this round 12 Belgium Grand Prix around the Spa-de-Francorchamps track. So as you can see now, Roscoe is approaching Eau Rouge and then Radion up towards the first straight with the DRS zone. Down this straight we would expect the car to possibly go around 205 to 213 mile an hour, possibly. So, and Yoto is out as well, just behind them, coming down this back straight, but we'll watch Roscoe on his out lap, getting ready to possibly set one of the fast laps in this qualifying session. DS Joe has just come out, he's coming up to Radion, but we shall watch Roscoe. Someone else is coming down the pit lane, I can't see who it is. It is Niall, the Annihilator. And we also have Joel out. Pezza J2000 is on his way out with his teammate Kev Shaw, Roscoe's teammate, is coming out of the pits now, as Roscoe is near enough starting his fast lap. So we shall go back and watch Roscoe start his fast lap. I believe Roscoe is going to possibly do a very good lap around here. He is quite quick. He's not had a good form recently. He is a good racer and he does do well, but recently he hasn't had the form he was in the first 5 races. So here we go, starting his fastest lap. Coming into turn 1. Very cautious as not to put too much acceleration going into that corner and coming out, as you can spin out. Coming up towards Eau Rouge and then Radion. Oh, Vanilla Berting is out. I repeat, Vanilla Berting is out. We can't see what happened there, but Vanilla Berting is out. Oh, and Roscoe's gone out as well. What's going on? What's happened there? We'll watch Joe go on his fastest lap. Joe is a very fast racer in our league. Joe is a very quick racer. Roscoe must have went off at Eau Rouge and Radion, because we were just watching them approach this. Oh no, Joe's gone off as well. Oh no, everyone's going off. Joe's retired. Roscoe's retired. Let's watch Yoto. Yoto's made it past. Let's see Joel. Joel's coming up to this section as well. Let's see if anything happens to him. No, he's doing good. He's doing good. He's made it past the Annihilator. Let's watch Niall. See if Niall makes it past Radion and Eau Rouge. Niall makes it past. Yellow flags in sector 3. See if anything's going on down there. Oh, Pesage's just retired as well. What happened there? Everyone's dropping off. Holy smokes, guys. Who we were watching before? We were watching Yoto. We'll watch Yoto first. As he is on his fastest lap. Let's hope the guy in front, Robbie J. Lewis, does not impede his lap time. As if he impedes his lap time, he will get a qualifying ban, possibly. And he crosses the line with a 1:52.46, which is a good lap. Do we have the times? And we have yellow flags in Sector 3. What has happened in Sector 3? Let's watch the Annihilator. That's a real shame for the guys who have crashed out so far. They're some of the best racers in this league. So they're obviously going to have to start at the back of the grid. So we'll be starting with Roscoe, then Joe, then Pezza. The Annihilator with a 1:46.875. Yacht almost had an invalidated lap because his lap time was not set. So Niall with a very quick lap time around the Spa de Francorchamps circuit. Kev Shaw's gone faster with a 1:46.771. A good time by Kev Shaw. Robbie Costa's gone even faster at 1:45.225. This is some very quick lap times from the guys racing so far. Saint with a 1:47.209, and then Rob Chad with a 1:47.350. We're getting some consistent 1:47s here, and it looks like Yoto spun out. Does Yoto have damage? Yoto has damage on his front left. We're having a lot of yellow flags today. Saint has retired from the session. What happened to Saint? As Rubdex goes wide through turn 1. We'll watch Robbie J. Lewis as he's going very slow on an outlap. Hordaz as he's starting to speed up onto his quick lap. That's a real shame for the guys who have went out so far. These are some top quality races in our league. It's just a real shame that they haven't been able to set the time that they usually have. Because they're usually really consistent when it comes to qualifying, but unfortunately they haven't been able to set the time. Possibly, if we can, we'll be able to get Roscoe in to see what happened to him in his incident. Hopefully we can get Roscoe into the... And the Annihilator is retired. I don't know whether he's retired in the pits. It looks like he has retired in the pits. So hopefully we can get Roscoe into the party so we can get him to explain to us what happened in his mishaps into Radion. As we are going to watch Hordaz set his fast lap in this qualifying 1 session. Rubdex with a 1:58.89. He must have gone quite slow or got some damage during that lap time. Kev Shaw has retired from the session. Did Kev Shaw spin out? He must have spun out. Anyway, Hordaz with a 1:45.264. Second place for Hordaz. The order as it stands, as Robbie J. Lewis is starting his fast lap of this race, of this qualifying sorry. Joel is starting his lap. As it stands, we have Robbie Coz, Hordaz, Kev Shaw, Rob Chad, the Annihilator, Rubdex, Joel, Vanilla Berting, Robbie J. Lewis, Horjoto, Saint, Pezza, DS Joe and Roscoe. And as we watch Rob Dex go off, as he caught the curb into turn, I don't know what turn that is, as he caught him into the left-hander, does he have damage? We'll hopefully find out soon. Doesn't look like he's got damage. He might have end plate damage. And yes, he does have end plate damage. As we watch Joel go into the same position where Rubdex went off. Hopefully it doesn't have the same misfortunes. And he doesn't. He's made it through that turn. Let's keep watching him. As Rubdex set the time. No, he hasn't set a time. Robbie J. Lewis, sorry. Robbie J. Lewis set the time of a 1:54.37. As we go to Yotto, going through Radion very nicely. Now Joel, setting his time. And we'll quickly check up to see if Roscoe is going to join. I do believe Roscoe has not replied yet. So hopefully we can get Roscoe or possibly even Pezza to come into the party to explain what happened to them. As Joel sets a 1:45.974. So as of now, aside from Johto, all of the drivers who have set times, the current order is Robbie Cos, Hordaz, Joel, Kev Shaw, Rob Chad, The Annihilator, Robbie J. Lewis, Rubdex, Vanilla Berting and Horjoto. But obviously once Yoto sets his time, Vanilla Berting will drop behind him and become into 10th place. Saint, Pezza, DS Joe and Roscoe have retired from the session, as well as Kev Shaw, Annihilator and Vanilla. But as you can tell, Kev and Annihilator set times as well as Saint, but we believe Saint must have retired on track with a possible crash. So hopefully we can get someone into the party. So as you can tell, everyone has set lap times. Joel must be coming into the pits now, as well as Johto, Robbie J. Lewis, Kev Shaw. A lot of people are in the pits right now. Some people coming in, some people... Oh wait, no, Johto must be setting another lap time. Actually no, he's not, because he's on 0 ERS deployment, so he must be coming in. Hello everyone. Sorry for disappearing all of a sudden. Oh, it is raining in Q2. Yeah, I had to disappear for a minute because there was something going on. So, but we have Rob Chad out on an outlap. We have Joel, Kev Shaw, Robbie J Lewis, Hard Joto, the Annihilator, Rugdex, and Robbie Cos. All of them are out on slick tyres to try and get an advantage during the start of the race, as since it is raining they want to get a quick lap time so that they can't be overtaken by people on inters, because usually when you're on inters you're usually about around 5 to 10 seconds slower, we would say. So yeah, hopefully we can get someone into. And Vanilla Bearting has retired once again. What has happened there? That is a big shame. He's retired twice now. Anyway, hopefully we can get Pezza J to join the party to do a driver interview, as we need to understand what has gone on in that Interradion and Eau Rouge. We need to understand what has gone on there. And Joel is setting a lap time now. He done a 31 into sector 1, sorry. Kev Shaw going into sector 2. Ah, and here we have Perry, Pezza J 2000. How you doing, my friend?
I'm a bit disappointed.
Yeah. So can you tell me what happened? What actually happened into Radion?
No, just started on my hot lap, and it's just a slight little touch of the too light sharp of the steering, and it just sends it spinning into the water, innit?
So would you say it's getting slippy up in the Radion?
Definitely. It's just you hit all you have to do is hit that bloody apex and you're gone. I think there'll be a couple of crashes at the start. Anyway.
Yeah, more than likely, considering there's around 14 drivers, isn't it? I think there's 14 drivers today. So 14 drivers going into one area that's quite slippy.
Oh yeah, you would probably have the hot heads as well who think they'll drive through it fast as anything, and just end up having 2 lines going through.
Don't name no names.
No,
we don't want no beef. And Joel has just set a 151.3. That could possibly be the fastest time. Oh, never mind, Kev Shaw 150.2. Do you have any predictions on who's gonna make it into Q3? Well, they're all gonna make it into Q3, but who is going to become one of the fastest? The Annihilator. Okay. Well, let's hope he actually makes it into Q2 and we don't get the commentator's curse.
Well, actually, you got a bit tight between Jotto and HOR for first and second.
Yeah. So tell me, considering you went out in Q1, who, as well as the other ones who've went out with you, who would you say is the biggest surprise that actually went out in Q1 for you, other than yourself?
Yeah. I'm just surprised that we all went out, because we was all practicing like earlier on today. It's just one of them. You can just do a little something wrong and it's just all over. Like.
Yeah.
It's going to be a really interesting race at Belgium.
Yeah. I think Niall must have. No, Niall doesn't have wing damage. So I don't know why he's driving slowly.
Don't know. But is it his outlap?
No, he's on a fast lap. He's not on his outlap.
He could just be taking it easy because he knows that he's going to qualify everywhere, doesn't he? So.
But then again, the rain is coming down, so you'd rather do a quick lap as soon as possible than let the rain get down. And Yotto has set a 149.078 in the rain.
It's not raining on the race, is it?
Well, I don't know. Honestly, I don't think so. But
I'll actually quite.
we wouldn't be surprised. So yeah. So thank you for coming along for the interview. Good luck for the race, and we'll see you after the race. Take care. So yeah, that was Pezza J 2000 with some comments on what happened in Q1, which was a big shock for I think the entire grid, as some of the fastest drivers went out in that Q1 session. And Niall with an amazing time of 3 minutes and 1 second, .122. I think Niall is just taking his time because he knows he's going to qualify and get into Q3. So he wants to keep them medium tyres as fresh as possible. Joel has done a good thing at qualifying onto the hards. Hards is going to be very good for the race because you can go quite long into this race. Whew. So, since we've had one person's prediction, if we can get someone else into the party, let's go for DS Joe, see if DS Joe will talk to us today and see what his comments are on the crashes into Radeon in Q1. He will join us to do a driver interview right now. So as we can see, Hordaz is taking it slowly around the course to keep them tyres as fresh as possible. And Hord Joto has retired. We're guessing it will be a retirement in the pits, as he was in the pits just a second ago. So let's just quickly invite Joe. Ah, here he is. Hello, Joe. How you doing, mate?
Well, crashed out of qualifying. But,
well, you did crash out in Q1. So, some comments on that. What do you believe happened to you? What caused the crash?
Well, I overfueled my car 20 laps, and I was gonna do like some test shit, some test stuff. Gonna warm up on this track.
So you're gonna do some tests in Q1 on the car to make sure that you would be able to run in the race.
I was gonna do a race stint,
Yeah. Okay, we have yellow flags in Sector 1 and Sector 3. I believe that will be the Annihilator going slow in Sector 3.
It's Rubdex.
Rubdex?
Rubdex crashed in Rouge. Did
he?
Yep.
Oh yes, he has no front wing at all. Okay. Thank you for pointing that out. So not being a very good commentator. So in your opinion, other than yourself, I asked this to Perry, and I've said this myself, a big surprise was yourself who went out in Q1. I expected you to do quite well in Q1.
Yeah.
But for you, who was a big shock that went out in Q1? Other than yourself.
A big shock?
A big shock, yes. Who did you think would make it into Q2?
Let me check who.
Out of the guys who crashed. So we have Roscoe, Perry, Ben, Saint.
Yeah, I mean like Niall.
Well, Niall's in.
I'm surprised with Perry, to be honest.
Perry?
Because like the man's consistent.
Yeah.
Consistently getting like solid top 5s.
Yeah.
And qualifying he's really consistent. So, quite surprised with him. I mean like it's Eau Rouge, I wouldn't be surprised.
What was that, Perry?
Yeah, Perry.
We didn't see the crash on stream, but we did obviously see that he did crash.
Okay. Well, if it 301, so it doesn't count.
It is a 301, but it is counted.
Shouldn't. It's the 105% rule, you know. But it's also have to set a lap.
True. The only person who is qualified on the hards is Joel 8787. He set a lap time of a 151.345.
Well,
so
it's my home race, bro. I got a special helmet. I got a special livery, or not a special livery. I painted my original livery orange. I put orange in it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna race for the victory today and nothing else.
Oh, okay. So there's your race prediction. You're racing for the victory.
Yeah, man.
Do you have any predictions on the top 3?
Top 3? Well, I said I'm gonna fight for the win, so I'll put myself in number 1.
Number 1, okay.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna co-commentate until Q3, but then we'll see. But I think Kieran's gonna get P2.
Kieran, so Jodo.
No. Kieran's gonna get P3 because Kieran is gonna make 1 or 2 mistakes. And I don't know. I think this will be like everyone crashed out in
oh, and Rob Chad has gone off. Rob Chad is out of the race. He's crashed. He hasn't set a lap time, so that forces him down into P10 in Q2. Don't think he'll be very happy with that. And everyone else is in the pits.
He starts for P10. I mean, like, Rob should be happy with that.
Well, he will be happy with starting from P10, but of course he won't be happy with crashing out.
Yeah, the way he's got P10 is not that. But you know, this is like very interesting so far. Rob J. Lewis is in P5, guys. Come on.
Yeah, Rob J. Lewis has done very well.
As well as Kev. Kev is in P2.
Kev is in P2, yes. The current order goes
somehow in P8.
Yeah, the current order goes as Yoto, Kev, Robbie, Joel, Rob, J. Lewis, Hordaz, The Annihilator, Vanilla, Rubdex, and F1 Rob Chad 81. As we come to the last dying seconds of Q2, as no one is out on the track setting a lap, we'll go straight into Q3.
Will it be raining?
So Rob Chad is out in Q2. We're going to have 9 runners in Q3. So unfortunately Rob has missed out on this Q3. So it was nice getting you into this interview, and good luck for the race, man. No problem. Thank you. Yeah, hopefully I'll return to race the next race. Yeah, see you, man. So that was DS Joe, one of the faster drivers in the league. So now, heading into Q3, it is now do or die, ladies and gentlemen. This is where we see the best come out in all of our drivers today. We are going to see who. We have no engine noise, which is very unfortunate, but it is now do or die. Everyone is coming out of the pits to start. Everyone is coming out. And it looks like Rubdex got out first. So let's see who is going to pip the leaderboards and take P1 into this Belgium Grand Prix. I believe it is either going to be Niall in P7 or Kieran in P6. So as we wait for everyone to make their way around to start their lap for Q3, once I've grabbed my laptop, we shall read out the current driver standings and the current constructors leaderboard standings. So once my laptop loads up, we can load up the Discord server. So we shall go to the standings. So after round 11 of Hungary, we have the driver standings are the Annihilator for Super Smash Bros team with 146 is in P1, and Vanilla Betting has crashed out once again, so he will be definitely starting in P9, sorry. Then we have Joel for Roadblock Racing with 130 points in second place. We have DS Joe for Team Yeet and Delete with 124 points in third place. Then we have Roscoe R, the founder of CRH League Formula 1 Hub, in fourth place for ING Toro Roscoe with 122 points, so it is close between the top four. Then we have Kieran in fifth place, your Giotto Royal Races team with 114 points. Then we have Pleasure 2000 for White Stripe Racing with 112. Then it goes Vanilla Betting, Force Elite, 82 in 7th. Banksy and Robbie Cos for Team Yeet and Delete and Scuderia Nitro Racing with 101 points. Then we have Kev Shaw for ING Toro Roscoe with 63 points in 10th. 11th is Hordaz, Team Slick with 48 points. Then myself in 12th, Sunderland 1879 for Lonely Larry Racing, LonelyLarry.com Racing, pardon my mess up there, with 37 points. Then we have Saint in 13th behind me for Royal Races with 24 points. Then Dr. Lewis 94 for White Stripe Racing with 22 points. Then we have Albino Spoon in 15th, Rob Chad in 16th, Matty G in 17th, Rubdex in 18th, Robbie J in 19th, and last but not least, Killcode Noxious in 20th. The constructors goes in first place, Team Yeet and Delete with a 225 points. Then it is in second place, ING Toro Roscoe with 185 points. Then we have Super Smash Bros with 146 in third, Royal Races in fourth, Roadblock Racing in fifth, White Stripe Racing in sixth, seventh is Force Elite, 8th is Scuderia Nitro Racing, 9th is Team Slick, and in 10th we have LonelyLarry.com Racing. So that is your current driver standings after Hungary. So we shall now read out the times that we can see on the screen. So Kieran Horyoto has set a 1:44.025 around the Spa de Francorchamps circuit. So hopefully we can watch this as he is going around once again. We don't know if he's going into the pits. It must be going into the pits as he's on zero. Then we have Robbie Cos with a 1:44.750. Then the Annihilator with a 1:45.009. Then we have Joel with a 1:45.064. So not much of a gap between the Annihilator and Joel. Then we have Kev Shaw with a 1:45.243. Then Robbie J. Lewis with a 1:47.816. Then we have Rubdex, who is just coming across the line, doing a 1:49 1:03.28, but unfortunately that lap must have been invalid as it has not went and been set on the table. Hordaz is coming out onto his outlap now. Personally, this is a good strategic move as he has come out after some of the fast drivers have set lap times, so they have rubbered down the track for him to set a quick lap time around the Spa-de-Francorchamps circuit at this Belgian Grand Prix. This could be a big advantage for Hordaz. He could get himself up into the podium positions here, or he could get himself high into the field for the race. Who knows? We'll see when he comes around the lap. So, Robbie J. Lewis is in 6th at the moment, and he's doing quite well for himself in this league, considering he joined quite late. But he's doing quite well for himself. He's established some good points playing positions. In the last race he got second. Not second, sorry, he got 2 points last race. Pardon me for my mess up. Rubdex must have run out of fuel. Never mind, no he hasn't. He's just going very slow in Q2. In Sector 2, sorry. So we have Robbie J. Lewis coming through Sector 2. And Hordaz coming across the line to start his flying lap in this Q3 session at the Belgian Grand Prix. So let's watch his Sector 1 time and see where he pips himself against everyone else. Coming down the first straight, past Eau Rouge, up Radion, onto the second straight of the circuit. DRS activated. Coming down this straight with the DRS powered, going 205, 206 miles an hour. A 30.205 for Daz in Sector 1. So now going around the long right-hander here at the Belgian Grand Prix. Then passing the corner that has no name. Down this semi-long straight into the next left-hander. And as we can see, Joel has started his outlap, and so has Giotto. Joel is ahead of Giotto, so we will see who else is going to be starting an outlap very soon. But Daz doing a 1:18 in Sector 2. And now, coming through this final sector, let us see where he is going to end up in the field. Is he going to stay in 8th? Is he going to go quicker and get himself further up the field? We'll soon find out. As Giotto is on his outlap with Joel starting his flying lap. And Giotto has just started his flying lap. Let's see where Daz must have invalidated his lap time as it is not set. But he done a 1:48, which would have put him 7th. We shall now watch Joel doing his lap with a 1:29, which is 1.5 tenths faster than Giotto. With Giotto, we don't know. We'll keep an eye on both of these races. Going through the corner that has no name is Joel, and yellow flags in Sector 1. What has happened? Has someone got damage? Has someone spun out? Let's see if we can see anyone that's got damage. Oh, and Giotto has spun on the left-hander in Sector 2 as his HUR Daz goes past him to carry on his quick lap in this Q3 session. We have 1 minute and 20 seconds left in this Q3 session. Now it comes down to this. It is all up to this last run. Joel going through the second to last corner, into the last corner, activating the DRS, across the line, in second place with a 1:44.606. It's a very quick lap time from Joel. Giotto still in the lead though, with a 1:44.025. Is anyone going to beat that time? As we see Hordaz go 6th place with a 1:45.713, and Horyoto has retired. He's that confident with his time, he's not going to carry on and do another lap. As we're going to watch the Annihilator here on his final run in this Q3 session. Hordaz has retired. Has Hordaz crashed out? We'll soon find out. As the Annihilator approaches Eau Rouge into Radion, up towards the main straight, and that was, I think, Hordaz who crashed, unfortunately. So he's still in P6, as Rubdex is not going to be able to set a lap time, and neither is Kev Shaw. So Kev Shaw is near enough guaranteed 5th to 6th place, and Rubdex unfortunately has set his fate in 9th, as the Annihilator goes around the right-hander into the corner that has no name on this final run in Q3. Let's see who has got what it takes to get themselves past Kieran Horyoto onto pole. This is exciting times, people. It's very exciting times. We could see a new change in the lead. We could see what happened in Italy in 2018 with the Ferrari and the Mercedes, where the lead changed 3 times. And Annihilator has went 3 or 5 tenths faster than Yoto. As you see, Joel has finished his run. He's not going to finish his run. He must have spun. He must have spun somewhere. As Robbie Cos goes through the final corner, activates his DRS, crossing the line with a 1:44.3, going 2nd place. And then the Annihilator with a 1:44.180 jumps him into 2nd place. Robbie J. Lewis is the final man and has cancelled his run and went straight into the pits. So the lineup is set, ladies and gentlemen, for the race. We have Kieran on pole with a 1:44.2. Behind him is the Annihilator, then Robbie Cos, Joel, Kev Shaw, Hordaz, Robbie J. Lewis, Vanilla Berting, Rubdex, and F1 Rob Chad 81 in 10th. So DS Joe was right with his prediction. It was either going to be Johto or the Annihilator, and unfortunately my prediction was wrong, as I thought it was going to be the Annihilator. So I'm going to say congratulations to everyone for doing well in that session. Unfortunately, the guys who crashed out in Q1 could not be in this session and obviously set their usual lap times, but it doesn't matter now. We have a 5-minute break. We are hopefully going to be able to talk to Roscoe to see what he has to say about all of the incidents and what he would like to talk about just before we go into the race. It's been a very entertaining session, guys. It has been a very, very entertaining session. So as we can see now, we have a 5-minute break between qualifying and the race as a comfort break for all of the drivers, so that they can go make themselves a cup of tea or use the lavatory, just so that they're comfortable for when the race starts. I'm going to make my race prediction now and say I believe that it is going to be a 1-2 for Team Yeet and Delete. It's going to be DS Joe in first, Banksy in second, with either Roscoe, Kieran or Niall in third place. That is my prediction. So hopefully we can get Roscoe quickly into this party to talk just before the race starts. If not, then we'll see what happens in the race. So it does not look like we are going to get Roscoe to join this party, as he must be taking a comfort break himself. So are we going to see Roscoe's circle turn into a tick mark? That is when the session is live and everyone is to ready up for the session, so that we can start the Belgian Grand Prix. I feel like this is going to be a very, very exciting race. There's Banksy. It will be starting right at the back of the grid. So, if Banksy does the prediction, I feel like he's done. As because of the fact that I am the commentator, I believe I get to choose the driver of the day at the end of the race. So we will coincidence every race. We don't want anyone to crash out. Roscoe said there is 2 minutes left. We have 2 minutes to go until the end of the session. Roscoe is readied up, so it looks like we are going to be starting the Belgian Grand Prix soon. We will watch the drivers go out on their formation lap, as when I will read out the current formation for this race, so we can now understand where people are in the grid, so that we do not get confused. So, for the current grid, we have Horyoto, the Annihilator, Robbie Cozzo 2, Joel 8787, Kev Shaw, Hordaz, Robbie J Lewis, Vanilla Berting, Rubdex, F1 Rob Chad 81, Saint, Pezza J 2000, DS Joe, Roscoe, and in last place Banksy. So I believe this is going to be a very good race. Now with the medium tyre, my prediction is that we are going to be able to see these drivers go on the medium tyre for around possibly 10 to 12 laps on the medium tyre, and Joel has a good advantage as he will take the lead if he stays out on them hard tyres for long enough, as he could push them hard tyres to do a hard to soft strategy, which could possibly put them on the one of the best strategies on the grid, as it will be probably the fastest he could go and stretch them tyres up until around lap 18 if he does well with tyre management. And as we can see, Banksy is going to be starting on the medium tyre, as most of the grid is. Do we have anyone that is starting on the soft? Yes. F1 Rob Chad. We have Rubdex. We have Vanilla Betting, I think. We shall see in a second. Yes. Robbie J. Lewis? Yes. So, from P7 down to P10. Those 4 drivers are starting on softs for this race. So a majority of the drivers have chosen mediums. So as we begin to watch them line up back into their grid positions for this Belgian Grand Prix, I'm your host, Sunderland 1879, for this race in the CRH F1 League. Now, as we see, here we go. 1 light, 2 light, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, 5 lights, out, and away we go here at the Belgian Grand Prix. And it is a brilliant start for Hoyoto. And also the Annihilator, Robbie Cos up the inside. Are we going to see any incidents into turn 1? I believe not. Everyone has taken it easy so far. Let us get back up to the leader. As we see a scrap going on for P5 and P4. Oh, and someone's gone off. The Annihilator. The Annihilator's crashed into Radion. Pesagier has dropped back to P14. Oh, Pesagier. Does Pesagier have damage? Pesagier has damage. Oh, no. Rubdex has damage. Banksy's doing well. Roscoe's gone up a couple of positions. We see that Saint is near enough in the same position. F1 Rob Chad has made a brilliant start to this race. He's overtaken everyone. As we can see, DS Joe with his custom livery as its home Grand Prix. Oh, and someone's went off in the background. Who's gone off? It is Rob Chad. Rob Chad's went off. Unbelievable. We've had a lot of people spinning off this race. Okay. Hoyoto is still in the lead though. That's going to be important to him. He wants to keep this lead as much as possible, as the quick drivers are still near the back of the grid. DS Joe is making moves in this race. He went from P13 up into P7 so far, and I believe he's going to take a move onto Vanilla Betting into this corner. And I believe, yes, he's completed the move. He's passed him. He's up now into P6. Hordaz wants to hold him off, as this is going to be a tough race for everyone, as DS Joe is making absolute movements. He is doing brilliantly in this opening lap, sorry. As we see, Saint and Vanilla Betting are fighting for position. And Roscoe R just behind them, with Banksy just behind Pesagier, who does not have damage. Rob Chad has gone to the pits, as well as Rubdex. So let's watch Rob Chad's pit stop and see how long it is going to be. Just before that, we will carry on to see Yoto come round in this turn, and then Rob Chad pit stop. Pesagier 2000 has retired from the session. What's happened to Pez? I believe Peza must have... And there is a safety car. A safety car is out, ladies and gentlemen. On lap 2, Robbie J. Lewis, drive-through penalty, speeding underneath the safety car. That's going to suck for Robbie J because he's in P7. That's a good place for him. Rob Chad and then Rubdex. Yeah, Peza must have just gone off at Radion, as we expected. And now let's see if anyone is going to decide to jump into the pits, as hopefully we can possibly get the Annihilator to join us in the party to explain what went on in that opening lap.
Well, hello.
Hello, Niall. So, what happened on that opening lap?
Well,
That is fine. What we're going to do is we're going to get you and Pezza in here to hopefully talk about what happened on that opening lap, and possibly stay with me to commentate for the rest of the race. More than likely it should be heard on the stream. So, under safety car at the minute, because Pezza crashed out at Radion. Wow,
yeah,
that was an eventful opening lap. Saint is
I don't
pitting.
know what happened. There we go. I went through it quite normally and just as soon as I realised I was leaving it.
Ben has gone onto the soft tyre, I believe. If I'm correct. Yes, Ben has gone on the soft tyres. So the current order as it stands is Kieran in first place with Robbie Cos following behind. Kev Shaw, Joel, Daz, DS Joe, who's made absolute movement on this first 3 laps, considering he started in P13. Robbie J. Lewis, Vanilla Betting, Roscoe, Banksy, Saint, F1 Rob Chad and Rubdex in last place. Okay, so it doesn't look like Perry's going to join us. So, do you have...
See if Joe can win this.
You believe Joe can win this?
Yeah.
DS Joe. Right. So what are your comments on this first lap then?
Hello. Alright, yeah, you can hear me on the stream, it's calm. I'm a bit quiet, but you can hear me on the stream.
Yeah, sometimes it is quite quiet. Yeah, my party audio switched all the way straight to party, so I can hear more party than the game.
My microphone level.
Yeah.
So hopefully now I'm a bit louder. I'm just watching the stream myself, making sure that my commentator is there. Who's in the lead of the race at the minute?
It is Yodo. Yep.
That was a hella quali lap by myself, so I was really happy with that.
Oh yeah, you did a brilliant quali lap. That was a brilliant quali lap to jump over Robbie Cos.
Oh, this has got to be the last lap of the safety car now.
It must be, because everyone's in the pack, that's the thing. And it's just getting dangerous because Daz is going very slow and Joe's just trying to warm up his tyres.
Get Pezza in.
Pez is not going to join. I asked him and he said he said doesn't matter, bro. He don't want too many people in. So
Fair enough.
I do want him in, so obviously we can get some comments about from obviously another fellow driver as yourself. But it all depends on.
I'm going to say here and now, I knew it before this race, but this is just going to confound it. I'm not winning the championship.
You are not going to win the championship, you believe?
No, I'm like 21 points ahead at the minute. Joe wins.
Well, I read the standings out on stream earlier on, but I'll go and check them now just to make sure. Rob Chad 81 with a 5-second time penalty for severe collision with Saint.
Oh, what happened there? We missed that. Must have run into the back of him accidentally.
Doesn't repeat. Yes, Rob Chad has some end plate damage.
That's silly for him under safety car conditions.
Yes, that is very silly.
The interesting to see Banksy and Vanilla betting. Hopefully they can keep it clean on track.
What happened between them two, like? Because I didn't really see.
Not for the stream, but that's a bit of an incident the other day. It's hopefully been sorted.
Oh, that one. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what you mean. And it appears my laptop has stopped working.
Roscoe is currently in AI mode.
Yeah.
That's it.
Safety car in this lap.
Banksy nearly runs into the back of Roscoe. That would have been.
Safety car is in this lap. I suggest, personally, I suggest that Yotto to start backing up and slowing up the queue.
Watching Robbie Cotter's perspective here. They might get rebroadcast mode on. And
Oh!
Robbie Cotter's spun.
That's made a big gap between him and Yotto. He's got some work to do now, as Kev Shaw is very close to him going into turn 1. Oh, and DS Joe has jumped. Hard as. Banksy is up in the P7.
Who's that off track? Vanilla Bearting.
Vanilla Bearting. Oh. Vanilla Bearting has retired from the session. Oh, Perry was going to join, but he can't join because I accidentally kicked him or something.
Banksy jumped Roscoe. Something definitely happened.
It looks like Rob Chad possibly might be going for a move on Roscoe here into turn. Never mind. He's on the faster compound of tyre.
Well, you've got Saint right behind as well.
Very true, very true. Chad goes wide into the corner with no name. He's going wide again. He must have damage. He has end plate damage. Rob J. Lewis has lost it into the corner. That's dropping back to the back of the grid.
Rob Dex is about to overtake Saint. No, back down.
I believe Saint might be trying to move on Rob Chad coming up to the bus stop. As you can see how much closer he's getting in through these corners. As Rob Chad does have end plate damage.
He backed out of it. He slowed down a little bit there. He's not going to pass.
Rob Chad is driving a bit uncontrollably across the road though.
Oh, DS Joe's into the pits.
DS Joe into the pits. That is an early pit stop considering he is on the mediums.
Let's see what he goes on to.
He is going on to a set of softs. Oh, he had front wing damage.
Oh,
that's why he's pitted. There. We also have Roscoe in the pits and Robbie J. Lewis. So Roscoe has jumped Robbie J. Lewis.
In the lead by 2.8 seconds. Kev Shaw's closely following behind by a second. Joel's a further 3 seconds back.
Oh, and Saint must be going for a move on Rob Chad into this turn here. No, he's backed out of it.
Close battle here.
Oh, it is a very close battle, but I think Saint is understanding that Chad is going to defend this position for his life. Whoa, that was close. Does he have any damage? I do believe not.
Let's have a look at the front of his car.
Do not believe there is any damage to the front of his car. No, there is not.
It looks fine on my screen. Looking out on the time intervals, there don't seem to be any close battles, so this is the closest battle on track.
This is the battle for 7th place. This is probably the best battle to be watching at the minute.
I can't help but feel if Saint was a bit more aggressive, he could have this.
To be fair, I don't believe it's not the fact that Saint's not being aggressive. I just believe that Rob Chad is being overly defensive. Because he's going wide and then swooping back straight back onto the track. And I believe after this lap has been complete, it should be DRS enabled again. Once lap 7's complete, because obviously the safety car's 3 laps after.
Yeah, you are correct. I'm just
Banksy is in the pits.
replying for a message from Vanilla Bearton.
Yes. DS Joe is now up into 9th.
Vanilla Bearton is putting in the chat. I deserve race.
Oh no, DRS is activated now. DRS is active. as Saint has DRS on Rob Chad, and he's gone past him. Well played from Saint. Good overtake into that corner. Banksy 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings.
Oh, Saint's gone wide, very wide. Rob Chad's coming back on him. Rob Chad's got the move.
Rob Chad has passed Saint.
Saint cannot be happy with that after spending so long to get past him.
Not happy at all.
We've caught up to Joel. Only 6 tenths behind him.
Wow. I mean, that is crucial with the back straight coming up.
Yellow flag in sector 1. Any idea what that's about?
I don't think so.
In the first sector, maybe he had a little incident.
Rob Chad 81, 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings, and Robbie J Lewis has gone straight over that corner. I do believe he has some front wing damage. Robbie J Lewis has front wing damage.
Saint moves into 6th place. Who moves down? Banksy's pitted. Alright, fair enough.
Yes, Banksy did pit. DS Joe, I believe, is catching up to Rubdex. Very.
Daz is almost within DRS range there.
We'll go on board with Daz up to the DRS zone. If he can get this right through here. DS Joe with a 148.435 on hards. No, he will not have DRS. But Rob Chad will, and there is yellow flags in sector 2. What has happened there? Has anyone crashed? Kev Shaw, 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. Robbie J Lewis is going very slow. He does have front wing damage, bearing in mind. So
that
he
might have been the yellow flag if he was slowing down.
Yes. Roscoe messing up the Eau Rouge, and Robbie Cos with a 3-second time penalty.
The Eau Rouge.
I was going to say the Eau Rouge and Radion section, like as in them sequence of corners, but I just got confused. And Robbie J Lewis has gone into the pits. Sport Pacer Racing Point Formula 1 team.
Robbie Cos has caught up to Jota. They're only 1.6 seconds gap.
That is close. That is getting closer by the second.
Maybe that's DRS. Who knows? Let's have a look at their telemetry. Robbie Cos seems to be harvesting at the minute. He's on 0 and 37% save. Jota, however, is on overtake mode with 33% battery. They are pretty much the same battery, but Robbie Cos seems to be using less and still catching Jota, so that's an interesting one. Maybe his tyres are going off.
Yeah, maybe Giotto's tyres have fell off the cliff. And as we can see, F1 Rob Chad has gone into the pits once again.
He's not having a good race.
No, not today. And Banksy has passed Rob Chad. Next to pass him will be Roscoe. And Robbie J Lewis is 1 minute and 25 seconds down. So if he wants to catch up to Rob Chad, he's got to get a move on. The closest fight we're going to see right now is DS Joe and Rubdex. As DS Joe goes straight past him, Rubdex, does he have damage? No, he doesn't have damage.
Away the position,
yes.
Handing it to him. Of course, we must not forget that Joe's already pitted. So
Joe has already pitted.
Where he will come out.
Joe could go to the end of the race on these tyres.
Has Joto pitted?
Yellow flags in sector 2.
Pit stop. Joto, Robbie Cos, Kev Shaw, Joel and Daz have not made a pit stop yet.
So
Joe, Banksy, Rubdex and Roscoe have all made 1, and Rob Chad and Rob J Lewis have both made 2.
So, if all of the top 5 pit soon, the new order should be Saint, DS Joe, Banksy, Rubdex, Roscoe, F1 Rob Chad, and then the other guys. It's not really much of a close battle in this race anymore.
Lap Rob J. Lewis.
He has blue flags. So he has lapped him.
Oh, Rob Dex is pitted.
Rob Dex is pitting. See how quickly this pit stop goes. He must have had a little bit of front wing damage. He's going on to the mediums. Roscoe 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. Seems like everyone's getting multiple warning time penalties today. Our closest battle at this time is the front. Oh, and Kev Shaw's gone off. Kev Shaw has gone off.
That is unfortunate for
In
him.
sector 2. He has damaged his front wing. He is not out of the race, but he has damaged his front wing.
He was having such a good race, he'll be gutted with that. Yeah, front left end plate damage.
That's lucky considering what it looked like to me when he hit the wall. But yes, as I was saying, the closest two at this point right now is Kev Shaw and DS Joe, with a 1.674 gap between them. Then it is the front two runners with 2.5 seconds and yellow flags in sector 1. Robbie J. Lewis is retired. I think Robbie J. Lewis must have crashed. As Pez has just texted me saying, I'm surprised only 3 people have retired. As he's texted me that, someone else has retired. And DS Joe does have DRS on Kev Shaw. Is he going to go for the move in this turn? No, he's going to leave it. Oh!
No, he's going for it.
He's going to go for it. He's going to be feisty this race. And he's not that far away from Ben either. 3 seconds. He is a very considerably fast driver. He could make this work to win.
No, I still fancy Joto to possibly have this one.
True, but then if he pits, he's got to create the gap.
If he pits now, he'll come out in front of Joe.
Will he?
Yeah, there's about a 25-second gap.
No, he's not going to pit now. He's going for another lap. Like I said at this...
He'll probably go to lap 14 or 13 and go for the softs till the end. However, Joe's on worn hards. Joe could potentially go to the end. However, he's going to be on very slow tyres in the last sort of 8 laps. So
Yeah.
I expect Joe to do the same and pit around lap 14.
Yeah, and Joel is in the pits. Third place, Joel is in the pits. Daz is retired.
Daz is gone. Joe has got a 3-second time penalty as well.
Daz is gone. What happened?
Joe's main problem now is if he doesn't pit, he's going to be on the hard tyres while Joto's on fresh softs.
Yes.
And if he does pit, he's then got to make up the time when Joto's also on the softs.
I'm quite surprised that's not another safety car, to be honest, with where the car is parked on the plate on the racetrack.
Right.
Because it is right on the corner.
The gap between Joe and Joto is currently 24.5 seconds roughly.
Hmm. But if he overtakes Ben,
Ben shouldn't fight him too much.
as he does right now, for Joe positions, and Robbie Cos is catching up to Joto. And Robbie F1 Rob Chad has received another, I believe, another 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So with 10 laps to go in this race, the current grid is Yoto, Robbie Cos, DS Joe, Saint, Kev Shaw, Joel, Banksy. Never mind, it is now Joel, Kev Shaw, Banksy, Roscoe, F1 Rob Chad and Rob Dex. But as we can see, it is a three-way fight between Joel, Kev Shaw and Banksy. I think Banksy's going to go for the move. I think Banksy might go for the move down at the bus stop chicane. No, he's not. He's holding off. I think he might use his DRS to his advantage, as he's gotten close.
Might get double teamed on this straight.
Very true, very true. Now down into turn 1, is there going to be any action? No, they're going to hold off.
Saint has pitted. Saint has pitted.
Saint has pitted. He has went on the mediums, I believe. Yep, he's gone on the mediums. So let's see what happens into the Eau Rouge and Radion section as Kev Shaw goes straight on and misses the corner. Kev Shaw skipped that corner.
TS Joe is now about 23.3 seconds behind Joto. Realistically for us, I mean, because
Robbie Cos is still catching.
I think realistically Joe has to win this to get drive for today. But I'm really impressed with
Banksy has passed Kev Shaw.
Wow, that was a good move through there.
He's now on his way to get past Joel. I called this at the beginning of the session. I said I believe it could be a possible yeet and delete 1-2.
I still think Joto's got the upper hand at the moment.
He does have the strategy upper hand, but we could see. We could see.
I think personally this is going to end like this. The top three. It's going to be Joto, Robbie Cos and Joe.
Well,
my prediction.
has Robbie Cos pitted?
No, neither of them have pitted. I expect them both to pit on this lap.
On this lap.
He's only 8/10 behind Robbie Cos has closed the gap dramatically.
In these last 5 laps, Robbie Cos has closed the gap very well, and Kev Shaw is in the pits.
Joe currently about 22.7, so it would be quite close to see if they came out in front. But of course they do come out after the first corner, so
It could be just a straight line battle through Eau Rouge and Radion.
it could very well be for all three cars.
As Robbie Cos gets dangerous.
Let's just hope with the multiplayer cars.
Roscoe R. Another 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Everyone's getting time penalties today. Oh! That was a terrible crash. I watched that from Robbie Cos's perspective.
Yeah,
That was a disgusting crash. Oh my days.
Oh my god. Joe is
That
gone.
how is that not a safety car?
That may have just handed Robbie Cos the win.
Rob Chad receives a 3-second time penalty as DS Joe has moved up into 2nd position. And Robbie Cos is in the pits. Robbie Cos is in the pits.
It's going to be close. I was right, lap 14.
I'm watching DS Joe coming through the bus stop chicane.
Is he going to overtake him?
He could do it.
Robbie Cos leaves his pit box.
This is going to be close.
Robbie Cos is going to stay out in front.
Yep, but it's going to be very close. It'll cut the gap to 4.23 seconds. 4 seconds.
Of course, Joe is now on hard tyres. Or let me just check the.
Robbie
Joe
Cos is
on
now
9
on
laps
soft.
hard.
True.
Robbie Cos is now on soft till the end. Joe has to either catch him on the hards or pit now and catch up about 20 seconds on the same tyre. I think this is Robbie Cos is to throw away at the moment.
Well,
It
don't
wouldn't
give
be
him the
Joe
commentator's
to throw
curse because
away.
you did that to Giotto, so. You don't want to see another crash like Giotto's. Holy smokes. That was a horrific crash.
Came out of nowhere. And what must have happened? He must have caught the curb.
Possibly I did say he went wide. He went wide and then caught the wall that sticks out into that turn.
Yeah.
But it was just the way that the car just got through. I think it was because he was going so hard to pit to try and get out in front of Joe. If he'd just taken it easy, he would have got him. He would have done it.
Well, let's just say they ain't mending that with gaffer tape.
True. It is now 2.8 seconds.
2.8 seconds.
This could be Joe's.
The end on this tyre.
They are 9 laps old. I think they could last.
They could last, but they're going to be nearly dead, and he's on softs.
If he gets past them, I believe if Joe gets past him, he will push them tyres as far as he can. Banksy is cutting the gap to Joel. He's now down to 3.3 seconds.
Start increasing.
I think if Joe doesn't cut the gap to within less than a second before lap 18, it's Robbie Cozers for the win.
It's now 3 seconds. I think it's going to sort of stay around this range, but we'll see. Banksy at the minute is 3.6 seconds behind Joel. 6 laps to go. However, Joel's 5 laps newer. He's only been on those first 4 laps. Banksy's been on those for 9. I'm going to have a quick look at the race director and update you again.
Yes, you look at the updates and the penalties, and I will keep an eye on the race at hand. So, the current grid goes Robbie Cos, DS Joe and Joel in 1st, 2nd and 3rd. We have Banksy in 4th, Saint in 5th, Roscoe in 6th, 7th is Kev Shaw, 8th is F1 Chad 81 and 9th is Rubdex. We have 9 runners left in this race, ladies and gentlemen. We started from 15, so we've had 6 DNFs since the beginning of this race. Unfortunately,
DS Joe has 3 seconds, Robbie Cos has 3 seconds, and Banksy has 3 seconds.
So DS Joe has 3 seconds.
Robbie Cos has 3 seconds.
Right, so the gap.
Gone to 3.4.
So the gap is the same. It'll stay the same. Banksy has 3 seconds, so he is basically in 4th.
He needs to catch Joel quickly. Let's have a look at
If Saint catches up to Banksy and closes it within 3 seconds, he could take 4th position from him. Yeah, unfortunately the gap is starting to widen between DS Joe and Robbie Cos. I'd advise him to pit. It is 3.6 seconds.
Guaranteed him second. And
True.
he's probably got the fastest lap, I believe.
True. Then we also need to give driver of the day as well. Because of commentators, we get to choose who the driver of the day was, isn't it?
For me, it's between Banksy and Saint.
Banksy and Saint.
Both started from the back. I mean, we half expected Joe to come through. That's not really
True, very true.
And Saint, who's had quite a quiet season so far, this is quite a really good result for him.
Yeah, this will be very good. Will overtake me in the driver's standings. Oh! Does he have damage? He's just went off. Yes, he has ring damage. Saint.
Oh, commentator's curse.
The commentator's curse strikes again, and is giving Roscoe the position.
Shaw's coming in hot.
Wow.
That is just
unfortunate.
We should wait till the end.
DS Joe has another 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So now the gap will technically increase up to 6.7 seconds.
It's going to be a win for the Italian at the Belgian Grand Prix.
Yep. I did speak to Joe just before the race, and he did say he changed his livery for his home Grand Prix, which is this one.
Well, Kev Shaw has got past Saint. Saint was in the pit.
Saint nearly missed the pit lane.
Rob Chad and probably Rob Dex if he gets to move on.
Yeah, so unfortunately, and Saint is going to looks the best he can come up with. And we have another Toyota crash. Yes, and Rubdex passed Saint, so Saint is now in. DS Joe sets another fast lap with a 1:46.976.
Fortunately, I don't think he's quite got enough on him to get 3 seconds ahead of Robbie Todd.
True. He has cut the gap though, back down to 2.7 seconds.
With 6 seconds of penalties, it's going to be difficult.
Very, very true. The gap between Joel and Banksy has went down. As it was up to 6 seconds, it is now back down to 4. Joel, 3-second time penalty.
Oh, that changes things.
As Banksy also does have a 3-second time penalty.
Banksy just has to now overtake though within the next 3.5 laps. Well, I say 3.5, that's pretty much the first focus. He doesn't seem to be gaining enough, so I don't see anything happening in this. Still makes a mistake and maybe another penalty. Oh, yellow
Kev
flag.
Shaw is out of the race.
Kev Shaw must have crashed. This is a disastrous day for this guy.
Yes, Kev Shaw went off at Radion. Unfortunately, we have 8 runners left in this race, as Rubdex is catching up to Saint. As Saint has passed Rubdex. Oh no, and Rubdex is going off. Rubdex has went off.
Oh, he saved the car though. It is not DNF.
I don't know how he has that little damage considering how hard he hit the wall.
So he's still around the 3 second mark behind Robbie Todd.
Yep.
3 laps left to go.
Banksy, the gap to Banksy. And Joel has dropped back down to 4.42 seconds. So it looks like this way Banksy will be finishing. Oh, Banksy's going in the pits. Banksy is pitting.
He will come out behind Roscoe.
He will definitely come out behind Roscoe. Oh, Roscoe's gone off. The commentator's curse strikes again.
Oh my god.
He's still... Roscoe must pit. Roscoe has definitely got to pit. Roscoe is in the pits. So Banksy has gotten away with that. As F1 Rob Chad is coming up to the bus shop chicane. Could he pass Roscoe?
Roscoe's got to change his wing at all, so it's going to add an extra few seconds onto his pit time. Roscoe is still in his pit box.
Yep, he has passed Roscoe.
Roscoe's just been released. Saint now coming around.
Could Saint get onto the back of Roscoe just before Radion and Eau Rouge?
Unfortunately, but it's going to be close.
It's going to be very close. It is down to a 4.8 second gap, and the gap between Banksy and Joel has increased to 22.5 seconds.
The gap between Joel and Robbie Todd is still around the same, 2.47.
Rubdex has went into the pits once again. I believe this probably will be to try and get the fastest lap. No, it is because he has front wing damage. He has no front wing.
Robbie Cars must be sweating inside that helmet.
So, on the penultimate lap of this 2019 F1 Belgian Grand Prix, the leader is Robbie Cos. Oh, Sector 2 and Sector 3.
I can't see anything.
Someone must have just went wide. I've been going very slow. So on the penultimate lap of this Belgian Grand Prix, Robbie Cos is leading with DS Joe behind him, catching him with 2.3 seconds. Joel in third, Banksy in fourth. Fifth is F1 Rob Chad 81. Sixth is Roscoe. Seventh is Saint. And eighth is Rubdex.
Just started to rain. A little bit too late to affect anything.
It has started to rain. This could cause another crash. As if it starts to come down thick and heavy on this final lap.
1.6 seconds behind Robbie Cos.
This could cause something. We could see something here.
I don't think so.
Well, if Robbie Cos is getting affected by this rain and Joe is getting up to him, it is now 1.3 seconds.
He still has to win by 3 seconds. It's all going to Robbie Cos going to Eau Rouge. If he can make it to Eau Rouge without problems, he should have this race.
I'm going to watch from DS Joe's perspective.
You're thinking Robbie Cos.
Nearly.
He went for it nicely.
But DS Joe went through faster. He's cut the lead down to 1.2. 1.1.
1.1.
1.
1.05. He's not got enough in the tank. Robbie Cos just needs to keep it clean.
He could get him on the back straight.
Still needs to win by 3 seconds.
Saint has retired.
Saint has retired from the session. On the last lap of the race.
He will still get the points for coming in 8th position though, as he's passed the 75% mark in this race. But unfortunately it means he will not.
Joe is very close to Robbie
Joe
Cos.
is very close. He's right on his gearbox. Robbie Cos must be sweating buckets underneath that helmet.
How is he doing in those times? Oh, Joe nearly lost it.
Whoa, he's risking it here. Joe is pushing it to the absolute limit at this point.
Fortunately, I think it's too little too late.
It is. If he'd done this a lap earlier, he could have possibly went and won it. So,
Across goes the line.
now coming across the line, Robbie Cos is your winner with DS Joe in 2nd place.
Oh, we moved down to Cosco's, 1.8 seconds behind
F1 Rob Chad.
Last battle on track. Joel going through the last sector as he looks to get an impressive podium.
Congratulations to Joel on that podium. It was well deserved. He managed to keep his head calm and keep that position. But the gap is now down to 1.1 between Roscoe and F1 Rob Chad. It's now under a second.
Admittedly, I think Rob Chad has way more penalties than Roscoe, so it shouldn't affect the outcome too much, but it'll be interesting to see if we can do it on track.
But we would love to see an overtake though.
We would. I don't think it's going to happen. Roscoe went through that last corner a little bit sideways. Ooh.
Keep it clean, keep it clean. We don't want to see you crash out on the last lap. And here it comes. F1 Rob Chad in 5th place and Roscoe in 6th place. Well done to everyone on the grid. Oh, Roscoe jumped up to 5th place because he had more penalties. Pardon me. So, I would like to congratulate everyone for that. It was a brilliant race, very entertaining. Well done to Robbie Cos for winning, well deserved. Unlucky to Giotto because of the crash. And congratulations just to everyone who finished. Is there anything you would like to say, Niall?
Absolute bullshit.
Niall, we're live.
Oh yeah.
Did you forget about that? So, the final standings are: first is Robbie Cos, second is DS Joe, third is Joel, fourth is Banksy, fifth is Roscoe R, sixth is F1 Rob Chad, seventh is Rub Dex, eighth is Saint, I nearly said Saints, ninth is Kev Shaw, 10th is Yoto, 11th is Daz, 12th is Robbie J, 13th is Vanilla Bear, 14th is Pezza, and 15th is unfortunately Niall, who did not even set a lap time. So, let us see if we can get Roscoe, Saint and DS Joe into the chat. We forgot.
To apologise to all of them for commentating curse.
Yes, that's what we have to do. We have to apologise to everyone for the commentator's curse, which is very, very unfortunate. But just before we...
Thanks to driver.
Yes, I would say the same. Considering he started very last on the grid and got 4th position is an extraordinary task.
Saint, we apologise, my friend.
Yes, unfortunately, Saint, we apologise. So yes, thank you for joining us, guys, and we hope you had a brilliant stream, and we will see you at the next race. Ciao.